Thank you for tuning in to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast, a no judgment zone podcast that covers lifestyle, entertainment, news, and sports. Even though KC doesn't watch sports, but these are minor details. By the way, he reads tarot cards too. Yes, I really mean it. He reads tarot cards too. And now, the host you've tuned in for, KC Phoenix.
Welcome back to the Keeping It Real with KC podcast. I, of course, am your host, KC Phoenix, and this is my daily thought. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right. This isn't going to be that long because I got some other stuff to do. But this was just really on my spirit because something happened to me yesterday. And I was just like, I need a therapy sesh. Every now and then when I do my daily thought, it turns into a bit of a therapy sesh where I'm talking it out. Because my mind is attempting to process something that is having difficulty processing. So, yeah, let me take a sip of this water right quick. Speaking of which, I need to apparently start getting more electrolytes, I think. So I have to start doing some research on electrolytes. Go figure. Because usually I just drink water, plain water, because I love water. I'm one of those few people, side note, where I love the taste of water. So, go figure. But yeah, let me do this right quick. Okay, so this is where we're at on what happened yesterday. And I've mentioned this before about littering. I kid you not. Someone finished the pizza and they just dropped the box outside. They just finished it and then dropped it. I'm wrapping my mind, or attempting to, around this. The reason, and I know some people are like, KC, well, it happens. No. There is a trash can. I kid you not. Probably maybe 25 feet, give or take, maybe 30 feet at the most. You can make it to that trash can in less than 45 seconds. For sure. You can make it to that trash can in less than 45 seconds. Literally. From where the pizza box was dropped. Where I stay, we have, maintenance groundskeepers who are constantly keeping the place clean, cleaning up the trash after people. And part of me feels that for some of these people, the reason that they do this, the reason that they just throw the trash out, is because the groundskeepers keep the place so clean. They do an amazing job, and shout out to them. Where they're just like, oh, well, the groundskeeper is going to clean it up anyway. So I can just throw it right here. I don't have to take a 45-minute walk to the trash can and set the pizza box in the trash can. I don't have to do that because the groundskeepers are going to get it. And when I witnessed this and I was taking in the information as I'm talking it out to you right now, I was asking myself, because again, that line went through my head, humanity is a failed experiment. And I was like, but you can't always jump the gun on things. You can't be so quick to condemn. I'm not going to say judge, because who am I to judge? I don't believe in judgment. because there's only one higher power that can judge, and that is not moi. It's just, before getting bogged down in the, what's the word I'm looking for? May I have a word, please? Getting bogged down in the astonishment. Even though I don't, thank you for the word, but I don't really like that word as much, because astonishment usually has a positive. I'm looking for something more negative. No, not bewildered. That's not it either. That is a word. You know what? We're going to go with that. Doing my best not to get bogged down in the disgust. Because I was disgusted by this moment in time, that it was like, really? And then my mind was like, okay, where did it go wrong? That's what I'm attempting to figure out. And I'm talking it out with you right now. And that can be the question in anything, because, you know, they say with the relationships and stuff, where marriages turn into divorce, or where children and parents fall out, or where brothers and sisters fall out, or siblings, or whatever, or family in general, or something happens at the job, or this or that. And that is usually the question sometimes: where did it go wrong? But specifically to this, I was asking myself that. I was like, where did it go wrong? Can you blame the parents? Did the parents not say to the individual who decided to leave the pizza box where it was and not take a 45-second walk to the trash can and put the pizza box in the trash can? Did the parents not train them to say, hey, respect an area, respect other property, respect the earth, and do that? Or somebody's yelling at their dog right now, if you're wondering, which is another thing. Dogs seem to run around here. I'm not an animal person. I like reptiles, but I digress. So with the whole respect thing, was it because the parents didn't teach it? Or was it something else? And even, you know what? Let's go on the dog thing right quick too, where people don't clean up after their animals and stuff. And this isn't where I'm at in Texas. This is just in general, because it was like that in LA. Same thing with trash. Plenty of trash in LA, believe me. But we're not going to go there right now. But it's just like where someone lets their dog go to the bathroom, they're walking their dog, they don't clean up after it. Where did it go wrong for a person's mindset to go to that level? Back to the pizza box. Where did it go wrong? Where, let's say that the parents did train this individual to have respect for other property, or have respect for the earth in general, or just respect for themselves. To say, hey, you know what? I'm going to put this in the trash can. Did something happen in their life? Let's say their parents taught them. So, okay, well, this is one timeline. The parents taught them, hey, you need to have respect for things. Don't forget to clean up after yourself. Don't forget to do this and do that and everything else. And then something happened in their life where either they gave up on life, gave up on themselves, or maybe they were influenced by other people, where they're like, oh, well, these people leave trash everywhere, so I guess it's fine if I do it too. That timeline. Or what I was talking about just a second ago, maybe life hit them so hard That they're just like, I don't care. I don't care. I don't care where I leave my trash. Somebody will figure it out on how to pick it up. I have other things to worry about. Or maybe a different timeline. And again, this is my therapy session. I'm thinking this out. Maybe they have so many things going on in their life right now that they're like, oh my God, how am I going to pay my light bill? Or how am I going to pay for groceries? Or how am I going to pay my car payment? Or how am I going to do this? How am I going to do that? And they're overwhelmed. Or maybe they're taking care of a sick relative or something else. Or they just got some bad news or whatever. All these different timelines of things that could have possibly happened that could have affected this individual's mental, I don't want to say foundation. I'll just say that could have affected this individual's outlook on what is important in life. Where their outlook, because clearly their outlook is different from my outlook. You will not see me leaving a pizza box just anywhere, especially if there's a trash can 45 seconds or less away. And even if there's not a trash can, and I'll more than likely keep it with me until I can find the trash can. You know, I'm the person who puts the buggies back in the storage area outside the car area, or depending on how close I park to the store itself, I'll take the buggy back into the store after I'm finished with it. I'm that person. So yeah, I can be like that sometimes. But what was it? And again, let me put this out here too, as well. This moment in time doesn't mean that this individual is a horrible person. Because for all we know, this individual could give their 10% in church on Sunday, every Sunday. They could be out feeding the poor. They could be doing this. They could be doing that. There are plenty, trust me, I've met them. There are plenty of people who have lots of money that litter and do all types of stuff. My thing is, where did it go wrong that the mindset became, oh, well, it's not that important? That's what I'm attempting to figure out. Where did it go wrong? And maybe, and that's the thing. It's almost like the daily thought I did. It was sort of like a movie review too. The two reality, you can have it all, two realities, or whatever it was. And I did a movie review as well. Because of what someone's reality is, it can be totally different from another person's reality. So that's when during that particular daily thought, I was talking about how no one can tell you can't have it all, because what your reality of having it all is, it could be totally different from what their reality of having it all is. That's why I say everyone can have it all. It just, whatever your reality is, and your reality can change. When you are 25, in your 20s or in your 30s, your reality of having it all may be different of when you are in your 40s and in your 50s. Because as our lives change, so do our needs. With this individual who dropped the pizza box, my thing is, what changed their reality? Because I feel something went wrong. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe someone like that would look at me and be like, it's just a pizza box on the ground. It's not that big of a deal. I didn't launch a nuclear warhead. I mean, my God. But for me, in my reality, I'm like, They just put a pizza box on the ground and left it there. So, two different realities. I'm asking, where did it go wrong? And they might be asking the same thing about me. Where did it go wrong with me that I have such an emphasis on not leaving trash on the ground? They could be like, dude, you need to relax. It's not that serious. It'll get taken care of. So they could be asking the same question about me. Where did it go wrong with him? Why did he become so serious? Why can't he just be a little bit more easygoing? Who knows? Yeah. And maybe that's the thing. Going back to the reality. What someone ranks as a priority, and I believe that's it, the priority. What mentally ranks as someone's priorities in life? Apparently, not littering isn't considered a priority for some people, and especially the individual who left the pizza box. So maybe the question isn't, where did it go wrong? Maybe the question should be, what is someone's priorities? What are your priorities? Maybe they just felt it wasn't a priority in that moment. And it was a snapshot in time. I don't know if it's a habit. My intuition, which is pretty damn good, is telling me that it's more than likely a habit. That this isn't just a one-off where it's like, oh, pizza box, let me just throw that out. I feel like this is something that is frequent. But at the same time, maybe it isn't. Maybe it was just a one-off. They were just like, oh, I don't have time today. Okay. And that was, it's not a priority right now. I have to be somewhere. I have to do other things. I have this to deal with. But maybe that's the question. What are your priorities? And how do you determine the order of your priorities? How do you determine what's in your top tier? Like, okay, this is top priority. This is what I need to take care of. Everything else, if it gets taken care of, fine. If it doesn't get taken care of, okay. And maybe this is something with us, we have to learn to accept that all people have different priorities, that we don't all have the same priorities, just like we all don't have the same goals and dreams, just like we all don't have the same realities. It doesn't mean that we can't analyze and critique from what we see. It just means people's priorities are just different, and people's priorities changed. And that may have been the case with the where did it go wrong? Something flipped the switch with their reality where maintaining the earth, being a good steward of the earth, being a good steward of the environment no longer became a priority. I'm over with my therapy sesh. That is my daily thought. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Until next time, be blessed.